Steve Graham, TripleM, serial ratings winner. How's it going?
I'm all right, Cainey. I got here, mate. I got here.
Well, the old comedy club. Did you ever play here?
No. It's funny because it's they've moved again, haven't they?
Yeah, down where the barracks are.
And someone asked me, or we did something, and they said, "Mate, it's a good room. You know, you can see everyone." And I said, "Oh, is it really well lit?" No, they're on your lap. But it's a great room, though, isn't it?
But in regards to stand-up comedy, did you do much?
No. You know, ironically enough, it was early days of radio, and I thought I was the funniest man in the world. Well, it's well known now, but those days, I'm not one for prep. I'm not one. I turn up.
I think your comedy. I've always noticed this throughout the years. It's a reaction comedy.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
that's totally different
Absolutely.
to going up there and saying a joke, like I've been Billy Connolly.
Exactly. It's very different, and it's unseen.
Yeah.
A lot of the time.
And unscripted.
No, definitely. But yeah, it takes a lot more. And they say, "How do you do that?" or whatever. I said, "Well, you listen." And I'm a big listener, and be it with tenure, but I do it at dinner with friends. You'll pick something up as they're starting their story, and you just hold it because it's odd.
But that's another thing too. I was going to ask this question anyway. It's like, people hear you on the radio every morning being Steve Graham.
Yes.
But you're a totally different person away from that. And
Or
are you?
It's a mixed bag. Not really, Cainey. And I say that not from me. I say it from friends who go, I'm always asked, what's he like not on the radio? And I always say exactly the same, except more swearing.
Yeah.
And that's literally the answer. My friends, colleagues, people I know, that's the answer they give. I take pride in that.
Yeah.
It's not a big difference, but I mean, we're always, particularly in media, we're always a version of ourselves. But no, I'm pretty much the same guy.
Do you feel some comedians, again, when they go to a dinner party, it's almost like if you're not on show, there's something wrong with him.
I would call, I've almost I love comedy, I love comedians, but when it says, hey, we've got this blah comedian for a guest spot, I'm like, ooh, really?
Yeah.
Because they've got to act.
It's like they've got an agenda.
And they don't want to waste any of it on your show.
Yeah.
Because it's funny.
It's almost like you've got to sit back and let them do it. And
yes,
because what you might say might spoil the next line.
Oh, absolutely. And a lot too, the competition of was he funnier than me?
Yeah.
And you do. Well, I naturally made people laugh or tried to make people laugh, and it was my mechanism to get through school.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, hang on, this will make me popular. This is all right.
Yeah. You've had some successful duos yourself over the years.
Yeah.
But there's trios. Is it harder with three? Have you ever had to do?
It's interesting. That's a really good point. You'll find normally there's always a trio. Hamish and Andy, there'll always be like, for us it's a risey.
Yeah.
And they really add to it sometimes because sometimes they can throw something in that neither of you saw.
Yep.
It can be a problem if I'm holding, waiting for my moment to come in, and then that person comes in and, which doesn't happen often with risey because we've been doing it so long.
Yeah.
But it's holding off and listening. And I get no better. I'll be driving home with a smile on my face for something I said at 6:45 that I held a line that Tanya said. 3 minutes later, I went bang. She'd forgotten she'd said it, burst out laughing. That makes my day. Day made.
How much preparation do you put in a show?
We're getting down to minutes now, Cainey. I'm not joking. I'm guilty of sounding arrogant, and it's not arrogance. It's probably a bit in the game a long time.
Yeah.
But I said it early days. They'll go, "What are you bringing to the show?" And I'll go, "Me." What are you going to do that'll help the ratings? Turn up. But it sounds so arrogant, but I've got no better answer.
Yeah.
Because that's what I do.
Because it's hard. I mean, 5:30 in the morning, you're getting in before that, but just to go bang.
And again, earlier days probably put way too much thought. If I give thought, I filter it, and it's never as good.
You did a bit of drive shifts. Is that easier because you've got the days? Things happen throughout the day.
Hated it.
Yeah.
Hated drive.
Just waiting.
Hanging around. Breakfast is, I'm barely waking up and I'm making comment on news.
Yeah.
If I've had all day to think about it, my original and usually best thoughts have been filtered down to, and they'll change. And just sitting around waiting to do something after 25 plus years of breakfast radio,
Yeah.
I can't do that. I hear it, I react. The line is, the less Steve knows, the better the shows. and I'm fine with that.
Just put him in the closet. Just bring him out when we need him.
That's it,
You know,
yeah.
Like Hannibal Lecter. Just,
Pretty much, yeah. And I could do it with a mask. And there's the difference with radio, as you would see too. You know, you've got it here, but cameras. And what that
Yes.
took away, though, was you used to be able to go anyway. So we've got a bear in the studio, blah, 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 blah. Radio was so much about the imagination.
Yeah.
Well, you can't. That got taken away from us.
before you get off Hannibal Lecter,
Right? Yeah. He's really, you're really sick on this Hannibal.
I went to a fancy dress as Hannibal Lecter.
Right.
And it was almost like, it was a heroes and villains. It was at some bowl. It was at the tennis club at District Park. And I wanted to be the last person that arrived. I was the star attraction.
Yeah.
And what they did, they sort of put me in like an orange jumpsuit, you know, like in Guantanamo Bay sort of thing. And I went to, back then they had Toy World where they had those ice hockey masks. And I've cut it in half, so it was just the
Yeah.
bottom part, painted it brown, and then they put me on this trolley and they taped me to this trolley and they wheeled me in to this bar, and everybody's pissing themselves laughing. And the whole night I stood there and they had to like get a schooner with a straw, and I was just like it was the worst night of my fucking life.
I'm glad you told me that, because I can't stand dress-up parties. The first 5 minutes it's hilarious.
I think
the rest of the night, you're a telephone box.
Mate, you should have seen me playing pool.
There you go.
Like, fuck off.
There you go.
They just lent the queue up next to me. It was
And when everyone yells back in those days, let's go to Fanny's. You're going down as Hannibal. I'm behind you.
I really haven't had a drink.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, not a fan. Well, and there you go with that outfit, especially.
Just talking on Fanny's, it's still sitting there.
Yeah.
Someone told me they've been in there and the bar's still active. It's still, you could reopen Fanny's tomorrow.
Yeah. But do we want a Cainey? Half of our youths are there. It's funny, isn't it, that you know, with all the stages of life, but that moment when you're at Fanny's and it's maybe 2:30 in the morning and you've got a bourbon and Coke,
Yep.
not a lot of bourbon, probably more Coke,
Yeah.
and you go, what am I doing here?
Yep.
Yeah, that moment,
Yep.
you're like, I'm going home.
Yep. Yeah.
It's like phase 2 coming. And I'm on phase 5 of Fanny's. I couldn't get through.
I used to think that moment when Andrew Johns walked past me.
There you go. Yes. Joey comes past. Or even a bit later on, there goes Kurt. But no, you're right. But yeah, I mean, what a great phase, though.
God, even back in the day, I was talking to someone just about the lost nightclubs.
Yep.
There used to be one in the top of the mall. You know where in the old mall there used to be a lift, and it used to be like a gangway where you walked across. There was a nightclub up there.
Was there?
Yes, and there was also a nightclub. You know, where you go to the junction, and the village. It's a big car park. It's got shops around
Yeah,
it.
the newsagent.
There was a disco. There was a disco
There you
upstairs
go.
there too.
Look, when I drove into town, 1991, turned New FM on because that's why I came. Driving in, I'm going, and I heard the ad. Jolly Roger, number one restaurant.
Jolly Roger.
And I went, I'll go there to eat. Number one restaurant, Jolly Roger. And so I got to the motel, you know, and I went down, found this Jolly Roger, up the stairs. I think two were getting thrown out down the stairs as I was going up.
Yeah.
And their big advert was real Coca-Cola. None of this shit, real Coca-Cola. And I went, I'm here.
Actually, before I met Kelly, this is going a bit over 5 years ago, I lived... There's a set of units across the road from where the Jolly Roger used to sit. You can't miss them. They're a green set of apartments, lime green.
Yeah, yes.
Lived in there. And I said to someone, man, if I was living here when the I would have just made a fucking gangplank straight across, or like a zip line.
I was going to say a zip line. Yeah. Now, in that block of units, wasn't there for a very small amount of time like a robot restauranty takeaway thing?
I think there was.
Before your time or after?
Yeah, there was. There was.
I know where you
do
mean.
remember. Yeah, but, oh, mate.
The Jolly Roger.
Great time. When I first got there, I met Kelly and she walked into the unit and she's looking around and she's looking at the kitchen and it was spotless. And she's like, "Are you a clean freak?" And I'm like, "No." I said, mate, I can see Derby Street from here. Why the hell do I need to cook?
So true.
It was the best spot.
Yes.
It's the best spot. Just you and Tanya, you broke another ratings, or broke a ratings record.
Yeah. Yeah, the old bastards have still got some steam in us, haven't we?
Mate, how do you doing it?
I think there's a combination. We're rare, and I say this having had other partners, you know, and Garth and Steve days, of course, so Garthy and I, and I think it's our natural. I use brother sister.
Yeah.
You know, we'll have a needle. But it's also we've both separately and together been doing it for a long time in this town, so you build trust. They know what they're going to get. Very Kyle and Jack, not the same show, but Kyle and Jack go on trust.
Yeah.
And audience that follow them. But what happens is the audience that follow them will say, "Oh, I heard blah the other day." And it's a bit organic.
Yeah.
Again, to answer the question of how do we go up all the time, it's organic because we don't get much marketing.
But did you, at first, did you worry? Because again, as you know, that she had this partnership with David Collins for so long.
Yes.
And I know I don't know what happened at the time. It was like sometimes on stereo, they just make decisions in radio where they just go, let's split up a great ratings winning duo and put one in drive, and then we'll win both.
Yep.
Which did happen with David, but it's a risky thing too.
Well, they did it with me earlier because I had the #1 breakfast show with Steve and Kim.
Yep.
And there was and then they axed it.
Yeah.
And then they whacked me on drive at KO.
Yeah.
Waiting for David to go so they could put me into breakfast.
Yep.
All these, and at the end of the day, I got a mortgage to pay.
Yeah.
So I'm getting kicked around.
Yeah.
Never mind poor Tanya too, going through what's going on, and there was no real reason.
Yeah.
They could have kept us longer there, and had 2 successful shows.
Yes.
But it's middle management wanting to show that they're doing something.
Well, here's the thing too. I mean, I know that like in Sydney, you got Amanda Keller.
Yeah.
Her and Jonesy and Amanda, they moved them to drive. Has it become to the point now where, I mean, breakfast was so important, still is.
Yes.
But now it's starting to the heavyweights are starting to realise that drive is.
I think it's not so much the time slot as it is drive. They can get away with having one show nationally.
Yeah.
They're trying to do it with breakfast. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
It won't work.
Yep.
But good on them. They'll keep trying.
Yeah.
I think it's more that because the underlying thing is they want to get this guy in here, but they don't want Amanda and Jonesy to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
So we'll give them drive.
That's right.
So there's that too.
Yeah.
Honestly, drive is about sales.
Yeah.
It is an important shift. Don't get me wrong, it is important and it's good to have the right thing there.
Yep.
But the overall thing is if you can have one team nationally and sell it to a Toyota, whatever it might be, it's much more financially driven, provided it's a good show.
Yeah. Well, I got to say, I mean, I knew David Collins pretty well. And, and he hated drive.
Yeah.
He fucking
so did I.
hated it. And it was almost like...
I think that's both of us coming from that breakfast background too.
Well, yeah, he actually brought me in for a couple of shows, and I think I don't know at the time, but I think I was going to see how we bounced off each other.
Yeah.
David's a control freak. Tanya will be able to tell you that.
Yeah.
And it was almost like, he just ran it, and the chemistry wasn't there. And I was still at NBN at the time, but I know that he just really... It was almost like he was bored, and he felt like they'd put him on a shelf and just waited.
Oh,
it was
you
like,
do.
Yeah,
that's
just
exactly
waiting
what
for you
it
to
feels
retire,
like.
waiting for you to pull the pin and go, I've had enough.
Yeah.
And I think at the time, Mick Malloy had a drive show that had come on, which was, taken nationally, and he knew that on another station at the time, I think, he knew that his time was going to be up where he wasn't going to win the ratings. And he went, I think now's the time to go.
Yeah.
Before,
because
that's one thing he always used to say was that, when he was diagnosed with cancer, I said, what's your most, what's the most memorable thing? What's the most proudest thing? And he mentioned those ratings wins with Tanya.
Yes.
And he said no one can take that away from us.
No.
And
particularly more that 2HD period for them as well.
Yeah.
Remember, when I got to town, they were killing it.
Oh.
Phenomenal figures. And then I always said to David or to others about David, it was the one thing that worried me the most is he defined himself by his radio job.
Yes.
And I thought one day that's not going to be there, so who are you? And I think that came true.
Yeah.
Sadly, because the guy was a very talented man, a very smart man. But there's more to him than the radio guy. But that's what he kind of.
He's
and
one of
I
those
make
guys.
a big effort not to do that.
You had to know him for a while.
Oh yeah.
To really know him, he
was shy.
And
People who think he was arrogant, and I go, no, he's actually not. He's just shy.
do you know? And Tanya knows about this, but I haven't. I've never spoken about this. But we actually, and I'm not proud of this, but we didn't. It didn't end well with me and him.
Right. Okay.
So what happened was that when he told me he had pancreatic cancer, I'm sort of like, holy shit, And me being stupid said, oh, is that a bad one? He said, Cainey, it's the worst one. I've got like 9 months, you know. I went, oh shit, I'm so sorry. And he said to me, he said, look, I don't want you to pander me, or I don't want you to bring me up. I just want you to just treat me normally. I don't want that shit. So I thought, I'll do that. And at the time I was with Channel 10, and I'd been picked up to do a documentary series in New York, Chicago, and Monaco.
Right.
So I had to leave. I was constantly going back and forth and still doing news shifts. Still don't know how I did it. But I actually said to him, I said, listen, mate, I'm not going to be in contact with you as much as because he used to ring me every day. The only person, I'll be on the phone with him, and the only person he'd go, Cainey, Sterlo's calling.
Yeah, okay.
Because he was the manager of Sterlo. But when I came back, I was constantly sending him messages, and it was just dead. There was nothing coming back. And I'm thinking, what's going on? And I finally sent him a message. Said, "But Dave, what's happening? Like you're not." And he just gave. When people send you a diatribe, and it's just like.
Yeah.
And he's
been holding on to some stuff.
How dare you? I'm in my worst. Blah blah blah. And I'm sort of going, but you told me not to. And I actually went to Tanya and said, I showed her. I said, what? And she went, oh my God, it might be the drugs, because at the time he was in the hospice.
Yeah.
And I'm like, she goes, I'll speak to him. Michael and I are going in. I'm going to speak to him. And I thought, this is either going to go really good or really bad.
Yeah.
Next day, another one. How dare you bring Tanya into this? Blah blah blah.
Oh God.
And in the end, and I'm looking at it, Steve. I'm going, this guy's probably got 2 weeks to live. Mm-hmm. I'm not his flavour of the month now. How can I go in there and visit him when there's people around? It's going to be toxic.
Yes.
And I stayed away, and I've still held that, because it's like, should I have just, because I think he says, oh, you'll come in and you'll just want to make yourself feel better after I'm gone, that you've.
Yeah.
So even he was playing with my head even before that.
Well, if he's 2 weeks out though too. There's not a lot of sanity going on.
And I'm going,
there.
I can totally understand. I'm trying to put myself in his position, going, well, I'd probably be feeling the same.
Yeah, mortality's punching him in the head.
And I went to his funeral, and I've got to say, I've been to funerals. For some reason, funerals doesn't. I don't get emotional, mate. I'm just holding. I was just a mess, mainly because of those last couple of weeks.
It is. Considering how close you were to get to that point, and then to put you in the position of not knowing which way to go, and this is like on a bigger scale, but on a smaller scale, it's when you haven't seen a friend for a long period of time, and it almost gets too long.
Yes.
How do you get back?
Yeah.
And you're in there. How do I get back?
Yeah.
Because he's not going to be around.
But I know, when you had an argument with him before, it would take probably a few weeks before you ring up and go, yeah, okay, let's get back.
Yeah.
I didn't have that time.
No, that's right. And God, that's an example for you. I'm sure, you've taken on board, as well as we see it all the time. And because of the internet and social media, we're surrounded by, 5 top things to do with life, what should care, experts everywhere. But the bottom line is that if you could live your life with only 2 weeks ago, it'd be a much better life.
Oh.
We tell ourselves, and then we slowly fall back into those little holes, don't we? We slowly fall back into the paranoias or doubts and questions.
But don't you feel like when you hit a certain age, you're sort of going, I'm well over the hill now.
Yep.
I've got to start doing stuff. I wish I felt like that in my late 20s, early 30s.
Yes, because you had plenty of time then.
Yeah, but you tell someone that now and they go, oh, piss off.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, you will feel this when you get older, especially when you hit 50 probably.
Oh, 50 for me. I loved it, and I keep telling that. What I loved 50 was, I don't know, woke up and stopped caring. But that doesn't mean caring. I stopped caring about the crap.
Yeah.
I don't care about things that I sit in conversations sometimes going, oh really? But so much has changed. I prioritise. My time's important.
Yep.
If I don't want to be at that person or with that person, I won't. I won't do it to please someone else.
Yeah.
Like you just said,
Yeah.
God, I wish I was like that when I was 30.
Yeah.
I've lost a lot of hours doing things for other people. People pleasing is the best way to say it.
Exactly. And I'll also tell you, your real title is the Reverend Steve Graham.
Well,
isn't it?
yeah, didn't get enough mileage out of that.
Yeah, what's-
I can't remember what year it was, but anyway, we were trying to figure out a way what we could do because we were taking the show to Vegas. And I said, well, can't they marry people? How about we take a bunch of listeners that want to get married and I'll marry them in Vegas? I had to research, and they sent me, like I had to actually, it wasn't just pay the money and get it.
Yeah.
I had to learn these things and question it, like a driver's license.
Yeah.
Anyway, 3 weeks out, change of ownership, never went. So that's what I've got left from it.
Did you do baptisms?
Well, I'm happy if you want. I've got water here if you want to get going.
I've never been baptised. That would be great breakfast radio.
Yes, I think it's all right. No, you're right. Maybe I should do listener baptism. But I can only do it in America. On the back of that card, it says I can't do it in prisons or any other country bar of the United States. And I thought, oh damn. But yeah, I know. Look, I'm quite proud of it, just because the name. Because Billy Graham, the most famous kind of, in his day of the 60s, Reverend Billy Graham, like Steve Graham's like, so that's where his son went, eh?
Well, mate, next year, NRL in Vegas, we go over,
Yep,
baptised, watch
there you
the
go.
footy.
Yeah.
Perfect weekend.
Yep. I even looked it up to see if it's still valid, right? And it said lifetime. I don't even know. No ongoing fees. So happy as. I know. We ended up just doing a pub night, and I dressed up as the Pope. Early Facebook days too, where the complaints started coming on. How dare he call himself a reverend and all of that? Lost money, clients pulling out, the Catholic. Well,
Mate, imagine the roots you would have got at the JR with that.
Oh, absolutely, especially dressed as the Pope. It's the only person in the Jolly Roger who's not swinging punches.
Every boy would have ran out.
Yeah.
Let's get serious now. You were adopted at 8 weeks old.
Yes.
Your mum was 16. Was she 16?
Yeah, 16.
When she gave you up.
17, 16 when she got pregnant, 17, I would have just turned 17 when she gave birth to me.
And adopted to parents who originally, well, I think you're from Canterbury, weren't you?
Yeah, born Campsie Hospital, which is Canterbury, my grandfather was on the board of the Canterbury Bulldogs.
Oh, wow.
I found all this out when I was 25. I knew none of this.
Yeah.
And Betty and Alf, who were my adopted parents, Dad he was a fitter and turner in Ryde.
Yep.
Anyway, off they went to Queensland, brought me and my adopted sister, older, 2 years, Sue. And we moved to Redcliffe, just north of Brisbane, and he brought a prawn trawler. So I always knew I was adopted. They never hid it. They never tried to pretend.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, at what point in your life did they...
Couldn't tell you. I just always knew.
Yeah.
So somewhere along the line, and Mum's line always was, I know that can sound weird when you're young, but just remember, we chose you. You weren't forced upon us or whatever it was. We chose you, and so that makes you important.
Yep.
She really wanted to instill that in us, I think, because I know I've met, or if I say adoption, not so much now, it's more common now.
Yes.
But if you said it, in the 80s, they go, that's so
Even
terrible.
even in a school, you'd be looked at differently.
Yes. And then what happens though within the family, I still remember I was going for my skipper's license with the trawler and things later on in life. I still remember coming out and my adopted father said, this is how used to it you get. He said, I'm really relieved, boy. Never called me Steve, it was always boy. I said, why? He goes, I'm so glad you passed the colourblind test because I got it. Now, he forgot I was his adopted son.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I never pulled him up.
Yeah.
It was like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Like, wow, okay,
Yeah.
and he's a very smart man, and he just, for some reason, thought, so glad that's hereditary,
Yeah.
Just forgot. My sister and I almost look alike.
But your real mum tracked you down, didn't she?
Yes.
So how old were you then?
I was 20. We always get this mixed up. I'm going to say 25. I was here in Newcastle.
How did it...
I got one of those, when you get a card in the letterbox that said, come down and collect something from the post.
Yeah.
And I was like, because it was a traffic ticket in my mind.
Yeah.
So I've gone to the post office fuming, here we go. hello, I've got to pick this up. And she handed me a handwritten letter. I went, okay, that's not traffic. Got into my car, opened it up, and it was handwritten, Dear Steve, I believe to be the woman who gave you up for birth, blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. I would love to make contact with you. Understand if you don't.
Yep.
This is my details, if so. Very brief. Rocked me.
Yeah.
It was not upsetting or not. It rocked me going, I never saw this coming. You know, when you say, and I learnt later other things too, you don't miss what you don't know.
Yeah.
So I didn't know her, so I didn't miss her.
Yeah.
But then when I got to know her and how very much nature, nurture, all of that, we're like mirrors.
Yeah. How was the first meeting?
Yeah, we were Central Coast. She was at a wedding because she lived in Sydney and Parks, the farm, and by then again, this is 90. Oh wow, 3, I think. Couple of photos in the mail, that kind of thing. We didn't really know each other that well, and then so I'm just sitting there, see 2 o'clock come in, and I straight away just saw her at the door and went, wow, that's her. And she walked up, and I stood up, and I said, do we hug? She goes, I think so. It was weird, amazing, lovely, but
was she nervous? Because then again,
yes.
she would I suppose the meeting was about explaining why.
I think a lot of that, and not just Jill, my mum, the guilt those ladies carry. And I say those ladies because it was of a time, you know, they brought out TV series on, give forced adoptions, things like that. The guilt they carry, and you can tell them all day long, it's okay. Because a lot of kids aren't okay.
Yeah.
A lot are like, well, they gave me up, screw them and all of that. I was never like that. I was always, there must have been a good reason.
Did she say to you that she did it at this time of your life where she knew you'd probably understand? Like to do that if
to
you were
find
like
me?
if you were in your teenage years, you might have been a bit rebellious, like, oh, piss off now.
Maybe. She certainly, you're right. I was more of an adult. Definitely that drove it. But I think her husband, Brian, who's an amazing man too, I think she constantly talked about me. Yeah. He would know, 5th of August, my birthday, he still tells me, he would know what time of the year it was by how she was starting to behave. He'd go, here we go, it's the birthday time. Yeah. She'd get down every year, all these little triggers. So he said, let's go look for him. And they dropped some laws. You couldn't find someone. If you gave them up for adoption, ta-da. Yeah. And they dropped some laws so you could search and you could put feelers out.
And I suppose back then too, as you mentioned, it's well before Facebook, where these days it'd be quite easy to punch in a name and
absolutely
9 times out of 10 you've got it.
Yes, easy.
How was your adopted parents? Because again, that's another thing where you're probably in the back of your mind going, are they going to be cool with this?
Oh, it's a great question, and I don't think thought of enough. I did, obviously, because like they've spent 25 years raising, and it was almost, you could imagine, well, my thoughts were, oh no, she's come to take him away from us. Even at 25, now I've moved out, I'm living in Newcastle, I've moved away, but that ownership of him or whatever, and that was never Jill's intent. And normally not any of the mums or father's intent. But, she was fantastic, but that's the kind of lady she was. But I knew she was burning inside. I knew...
Because that's the thing too, is that if I was in a position where I adopted someone, in the back of your mind, you're thinking the real parents are going to come back one day.
Yes.
And it's probably more, you'd be thinking, I'd rather it happen when you're in your 20s than at a time when they're not in a right space.
That's true. I think so, and I've learnt too, using my adopted mum Betty is a great example. And I've tried, not always succeeded, but I've tried. Mum always said, "This is not about me. It's about Steve."
Yeah.
She, we see it often in divorces. We see it.
Yeah.
They make out like I'm doing it for the kids. No, you're not.
Yeah.
No, you're doing it for you.
Yeah.
The list is endless on those sort of things. So I think, as much as it hurt Mum, she certainly didn't show it because she goes, "I'm not going to make this about me." But she would have been burning inside. But she was like, "Oh, have you seen Jill lately, love? You're on the phone." Never a bad word, never that woman gave you up. And there's a lot of other people that probably would have gone on the attack.
You hated school. Why was that?
The spy school, because well, I was. Let me count the ways. Cainey. I don't know where I do know where I got it. If you want to use adoption, because when I've met my birth family, they're all anti-authority, all of them. But I'm naturally anti-authority unless it's someone I think deem important or close to me. What are you doing? You can tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Who are you?
Yeah.
I've been like that since I was 8.
Yeah.
Hated that. Hated structure. ADHD, which I found out later in life.
Yep.
And dyslexic, again, later in life, harder to read. I just hated everything about it,
Bullied
bar
by
lunchtime.
teachers? Bullied by teachers?
Yes, bullied by teachers in that, dyslexia was, I think, called dumb those days.
Yeah.
So if someone was going to be asked to come and read something in front of the class, it was always me.
Yeah.
And I'd go, but and as a kid, I didn't think about it. I look back now and go, what a prick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like he did. Anyway.
To be honest, when I went to school, there was a certain age where you could, as soon as you turned 5, you'd go to school.
Yeah.
And
what about that though? You do, and then you come home and you find out you have to go the next day, and the next day,
right.
and the next day.
But the thing is too, I'm born in June, so the cut-off date is like start of July. So I'm turning up to a school thinking it's everyone's first day.
Yep.
And they've already been there for 6 months. Mm-hmm. And you're going, why is everyone... I'm about to bawl my eyes out, and everyone's quite cool with this.
Yes.
And also, I've turned up into the classroom, and everybody can tie their shoelace and write their name, and they've got stars up next to their name, and I've got nothing. I'm going, oh, geez, they worked them out pretty quick on the first day. I must be stupid. But it's funny. I feel like it followed me all the way. And I told my mum, and she wasn't happy with it years later, because I was always in the lower classes all the way up.
Yeah.
But I if she'd have kept me back to the next year, I may not have been like that. But so these are things that when you're young, like you're saying, you don't know what you don't know.
No. Exactly. Yeah, and I think the biggest thing was I ask my bosses. I get on well with all of my bosses, but they're my mates.
Yeah.
Don't call me your boss. That's I can't explain it even. I'm not disrespectful, but I don't just give someone respect because they've got a title or a badge.
Yeah.
It doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah. So the performance reviews would be great to hear.
You haven't had one. Again, that's why I've been very lucky. People, others would look at it and go, how come he gets a special treatment? But they know me well enough. I'm going, you're not going to do that. Where you'll be in 5 years rubbish and how you're like, I'm going to be. And they're like, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
They just don't worry about it. But again, I always say it to everybody. I'm not there because I think I'm a top bloke. I'm there because I rate. They can top bloke me at the pub. So, okay, I'll keep rating. You say thank you. And when I stop rating, you say you're fired.
Yeah.
And we'll get on great.
Yeah.
And it's always been like that.
Yeah.
Always.
At Elk Architecture, we don't just design buildings, we shape the spaces where life happens. From concept to construction, our award-winning architects bring our vision to life with precision, passion and purpose. Whether it's your dream home or your next big commercial project, trust Elk Architecture to build what matters most. Elk Architecture, designed for life, built for the future. Everyone deserves the chance to live life their way. At Connectability, they support people with disabilities to build confidence, independence, and real connections in their community. With allied health services and capacity building supports for children and adults, they help people develop the skills they need to grow, learn, and thrive. From daily living and community participation to NDIS support coordination and supported independent living. Connectability is there to help you achieve your goals, dreams, and aspirations. Connectability, supporting people, strengthening communities.
What if your home could sell for more without a full renovation? From simple refreshers to complete pre-sale transformations, we help unlock your home's true value. At Mitchell & Beasley, we specialise in property styling and cosmetic upgrades to make your home stand out. Mitchell and Beasley, where presentation meets results.
14 years old, your parents put you on a prawn trawler.
Prawn trawler, Dad's prawn trawler.
God, was it like
I learned to walk on the trawler.
was it
though.
like Bubba Gump shrimp?
Very much like that. Yeah.
Prawns. You can barbecue them, you can boil them, you can bake them, you can saute them.
I did them all. Watching the movie, I even counted them.
Is that-
That kingfin, silver dollar, and there's another trawler I spent a lot of time and I couldn't find a pick of. But they're your average Moreton Bay, Redcliffe, Brisbane kind of trawlers. This bottom one here, Kingpin, I went up to Fraser Island and North and Townsville and things with. But yeah, we went to sea and we were at sea a long time. And it was just a way of life. I didn't know anything different. I learned to walk on a trawler.
Yeah. Did you feel when you're doing this, and there was some older heads on that boat as well?
I'm in that bottom photo. I didn't know this until they sent it to me. I'm actually driving the boat out to sea here, and if you can see on the back, his name's Doug, the back deckhand, 42 with 3 kids. Inside is a 17-year-old idiot me. Here we go, fellas, smoke hanging out the mouth.
But you're sort of going, this is my first job.
Yeah.
How good's job? How good's work life?
Incredible. And again, it's where I fit. As much as I was the boss, but regardless of that, that's where my dad, particularly Alf, saw that's the only way he's going to go. He can't work for a boss.
Yeah.
He won't work. So I look back at it fondly, but don't we look back at everything with little rose-coloured glasses going, how good was that?
Yeah.
That was hard work.
Yeah.
But steaming out to sea, it's just the ocean. It's just, your expertise of fishing, there's, and all of that. And then in the morning, you're hand feeding dolphins off the back of the boat with some, there's my rose-coloured glasses.
Yeah.
Other times when, there's sharks coming over, you're in seas bashing windows out.
Yeah.
You've got cod ends full of prawns with sea snakes hanging out and taking the snap at you. Like, crazy stuff.
Well, as I mentioned to you off air, I watched Jaws yesterday.
Yes.
And that looks just like the boat.
Yeah, it's a bit bigger, but I know what you mean. No, you're right. Yes.
Was there ever a time where you're out there going, we're going to need a bigger boat?
Oh, so often. And again, you're at sea and there's phosphorus in the water a lot of the time. And on a moonlit night, or moonlit night, you'd look over and it would look like a grey submarine. And it's just a white pointer.
Yeah. Probably
Probably not as big as you imagine due to the water magnification, but it was part of life.
Yeah.
Sharks were part of life. And then when I went and saw Jaws, what an idiot. But yeah, good movie.
Was it, in regards to, was it a good life experience when you look back at that? Was
Very
that
much. Very much.
so important
Yeah,
for where you are now?
Yeah, I think what it gave me is even at 17 and then 18, 19, up till 24. But remember, I was on boats from 10. School holidays, didn't have them. Worked. Trawlers. I was a trawler, for that entire part of up to 25. What that captaining did just taught me responsibility for others.
Yeah.
And at that age, you think about it, you haven't got a lot.
Yeah.
You're 18, 20, it's just pub and
Yeah.
whatever. It taught me that I've got responsibility for people's lives, an income for a company and a business. So, and also one of the things I had was it was called a dry boat. So it was hard for me to get deckhands. Dry boat was no alcohol, no drugs, it's just a dry boat. It was known that others it wasn't.
Yep.
That's okay. So it was harder for me to get crew.
Yeah.
It's like, we're at sea for how long? What? Kind of a beer. And that was just my kind of, I did that for me. If there's no booze on the boat and you're a million miles out at sea, well, you can't blame that, can you?
Yeah, yeah.
Just not a temptation.
Absolutely.
So again, that's just one thing that sticks with me now. I look back and go, yeah, a lot of people have thought, what's his problem? It was back again. You think it's the 80s, the late 80s. Like, you drank and drive then, didn't you?
Oh,
You'd wake up in the morning and go, who drove?
Mate,
Different world.
Mate, you drove in the car with your mum. She's smoking like a chimney with the windows up.
Yes. Yeah. I always say this joke, and even Queensland, but in winter, my sister and I never saw Mum and Dad because they were behind us watching TV smoking. It was like, Mum, we had some good that.
The old,
Passive.
I remember
Wow.
when you used to have to wind the.
Yes.
Remember winding windows down in a car?
Yes.
There's a story. The singer Brian Cadd. I listened to an interview he did once a while back, and it's early '90s, and he's driving across. He was living on the Gold Coast, driving across one of those little bridges near Coolangatta.
Yep.
Massive storm waves. It's taking the bridge out. It's like what you see in the movies. He's on the bridge in the car, and the water's coming up.
Oh, right. Yes.
And he went.
Yeah.
And drove. But then he said, Imagine these days.
Yep.
Jesus.
Yep. It's, yeah.
There should be an option. There should be
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. It's
This is
true.
the option if you're going over Coolangatta Bridge and the bridge goes out.
Well, isn't that a scenario for life in general now, though, Cainey? Is that, people go, there you go, $9 million worth of equipment right here, and something doesn't happen. Can you fix it? Nah.
Yep.
versus the manual gear. And I can start sounding like grandpop at the nursing home now going, but you're right. There's no both anymore.
Mate, Kelly just bought a dryer and she's... we still don't know how to work it. It's like 3 weeks. And and she says, this dryer, this is when she brought it in, she says, this dryer, she says, I could be at the shops and press the button and it starts. I'm like, why would you want to put the clothes on while you're doing that?
Yep.
And now we just don't know how to work it.
Vacuum cleaners, same. Vacuum cleaners, go to work on phone. Yep, all convenient, I get it all. Because we're human beings and we love a shiny new toy. We love a shiny new toy. And then all of a sudden we're going, what do you mean AI can do my job? But you thought it was great. Not anymore. Yeah, yeah, I know.
Well, here's the thing, just staying on AI. I mean, I talk a lot about AI on this podcast. I mean, it's replacing everyone.
Absolutely.
Even, I think there was a Melbourne radio newsreader that was AI.
Yes.
A couple of years back.
Traffic now, particularly, I know, is done AI with some companies and things like that. But you, the voice that it has to sign something, I think, for legal reasons to go, yeah, you can do it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You worried about it?
Not at all. And I say that, right? I worry about it for other people's jobs. Hopefully I'll die before someone proves me wrong. But I go, AI can do everything, but it can't do funny.
Yeah.
It can only do funny that's programmed or learnt. Right? So funny's such an individual thing.
I get annoyed. We went out for dinner the other week and... again, you call up and you're talking to someone that was talking to AI.
Yes.
And it's always like, I don't want to talk. I want to...
The chats too. The chat things, a company, you want to, I don't know, send something back.
Even the banks.
The banks, there you go.
know?
But you could tell. Now, I know it's going to get better, of course. But I just, can AI replace coming up next this song, this song, the weather's going to be? 100%. The whole country will be driven by computer radio announcers. But a breakfast show or something that'll be a part of your family almost, your daily routine and stuff. Yeah. As I said, I'll probably die and I'll be proven wrong, but I don't think it can do that.
You go from a prawn trawler to a radio and television course.
Yes.
As you do.
Yes. Air TV it was called.
Wow.
Air TV.
Why did that come about?
It was an ad on the radio, and the girlfriend I was with, Michelle, thank you, Michelle, said to me, do it. Because a part of on the trawlers, we'd have two-way radio, the standard radios. Around 2 a.m, we're all getting sleepy. I used to just get on and do voices, but those days pretend I was Joe Bjelke-Peterson, and just to make them laugh, you know. And then you get into the wharf to do your weigh-ins, and mate, you should bloody do this or you should do that, and go on this, and I'm like, just thought they were being nice.
So that was your early audience.
Absolutely, and then even feedback where we're weighing prawns in, and these big burly fishermen going, "You funny bastard," and other words I won't say, in good stead, but. I loved it. I thought, oh, thanks, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I enjoy it. Anyway, and then she said, go and do it. I went into the course. It was twice, 3 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. And I think it was 2 months or whatever, but I'd done 2-3 weeks of it. And the guy running the course, who worked at B105, said, mate, I'm going to bring a mate and get you a radio job, and that's how quick it was.
Yeah, and that's the way radio was back then, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's almost like not what you know as
absolutely. Yeah, and I got there and I started on nights. Oh God, I was dreadful, but and then, where are you going? Yeah, I was watching. Why
was it love song dedications?
Oh, close.
Remember,
close.
there's a big guy in Sydney who was called the Love God,
Richard Mercer.
Yes.
Love song dedications.
he had a following.
Absolutely, he did. And again. We're in a world where, night radio, if it's not AI, it's probably pre-recorded.
Yes.
And built it around. Because people have got other places to go these days for a start. But that was good radio, that late night stuff.
You also learnt your trade there, too.
Yeah, for
when
sure.
you made your mistakes. I suppose it's like with television, they send you out to the country to make your mistakes. But also, too, I was actually talking to Todd Sargent the other day, and I was trying to think of the last... local night, midnight to dawn.
Ooh, it'd be Brad, wouldn't it?
Brad Carr?
It'd have to be Brad.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
reckon. Of
2HD.
quality or from a Newcastle point of view, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, there was.
I know they
overnight-
still do it with Super Network.
again,
and
but
all
it's
that. A local.
but local got to be Brad.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And he was the king of it, though, wasn't he? And he was fine with it.
Well, apparently he used to just get up. He had a toy shop, I think.
Yeah.
He had a toy shop, and he used to get up, or do the whole shift, and then go off and work for.
It's
full day.
fascinating, yeah. I'd see him back in the, when all radio stations were together, when UFM went to 2HD, and I would see him being on UFM, but
Yep.
there's Brad in the morning, g'day mate, g'day,
Yep.
Steve, how you going? What did happen to Brad? Did Brad die?
He passed away.
I thought
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, I think he had cancer.
Yeah, I
That's a
I
while
believe
back
so.
now.
No, that's right. It was a while ago,
Yeah.
but a nice fella.
Yeah.
But was really happy with his lot, and dealt with it really well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But great. No, for him it wasn't training ground, but. Like you say, country radio, the training ground. Ironically enough, the training ground now is podcasts. But you'll find if they're looking for someone to put on a Camp City radio, for instance, they'll look for podcasts and
Yeah.
have a look. Now,
Yeah.
it's a different medium, Cainey.
Yeah.
Like, we've been chatting and everything like that. That's great. We know each other with the subject matter and
Yeah.
everything. But Kyle, I've heard, is talking about doing it. Now, Kyle, like me, has had that luxury, A, of a partner, and B, of going, I got nothing more to say, we'll go to a commercial break.
Yep.
I got nothing more to say, here's a song.
Yeah.
You don't get that here.
Yeah.
It's
look,
a new medium.
Yeah, and Kyle, look, I met him once at Channel 10. He was quite nice, and I think he's a very
He is a decent fella, Kyle.
The persona of the person is
absolutely.
totally different.
Absolutely.
and you know that.
He's a different fella, but he loves a chat far more than me, believe me.
Yeah.
But he's gonna find it very strange, I think.
Yeah.
On content. Not saying he's not going to do it, because that's what makes Kyle pump.
Yeah.
You know. Oh, really? Watch this.
Well, he's still got Idol and things
Yeah,
like
he's-
that.
he's
you know.
fine.
I tell you the funniest one. When I was at 10, they were doing some pilot, and I think it ended up going on Channel 10. They put anything on Channel 10. Oh my God.
Yeah, yeah.
Put a puppet show up.
Yeah.
That he was doing. Remember, like Judge Judy.
Yeah.
He was doing
Yes,
Kyle by trial.
Yes, that's
And I
right.
was sitting there, I had a monitor there, so they'd film it on the weekend. And
That
was sitting
lasted a
there.
good half hour, I believe.
Oh, but you know what? It was actually good, but
Yeah.
because they had to package it into 3 cases per
Yeah,
episode,
yeah.
it was just mushed together.
Yeah.
But if they actually played one case per episode,
Yeah.
it actually, because I'm sitting there watching it, because I'm watching it getting filmed at a studio audience, and some of the people they had. I mean, I'm walking past transvestites, transgenders, hookers, in the hallway to go to the toilet.
See, now that's very Kyle. That would have been, get me them. He knows how to, he's really good at going, get me that, and that.
Yep.
Where I would go, get me anything but that, and that.
Oh, you-
He's really good at that, I'll give him that.
I was watching this bit where there was 2 flatmates and they're fighting against each other. They're up against each other, and he says, "What's the problem?" She says, "One's a transgender and the other's a hooker." And she says, "Oh, well, she hasn't paid her rent for 6 months, and she's also having sex on the balcony every night." And Kyle goes, "Well, we're going to have to look at the videotapes about."
There you go.
Get me the tapes.
There you go. That's Kyle.
It was just.
I'd go, last thing I need to see is that. And Kyle's like, get it up there. And that's when he's made that famous.
Yeah.
He's made that famous.
Yeah.
And I always laugh about, and Tanya included in this as well, Garth even, is like, good on us, we became quite well known, quite popular in the wrong city. Because we're as popular as Kyle and Jack, using that terminology. I don't think we're on 10 million a year last time I checked.
Yeah.
Because that's where, just the money is in the cap cities.
I'm going to say something too. Again, you don't have to answer this because it could, I went and saw Marty Sheargold at the Civic Theatre.
Yes.
And he mentioned something on stage, more or less saying what we're just saying.
Yep.
Kyle can just get away with saying everything.
Yes.
But it's a case of you say something at the wrong time at the wrong time, time at the right time, or whatever.
Yeah.
He said, I'm barred for life. But he goes, I can guarantee you, Kyla said 30,000 times more than
100%.
what
Yes.
I've done, and I'm paying the price.
What I watch these days more than anything, and I'm sure you see it too, Cainey, the journalist brain watches it, is it's not what's done, it's when it gets picked up, and then the pile-on.
Yeah.
And once the pile-on starts, it's over.
Yeah.
Because there's all this mad witches thing that's chasing Kyle. That became a pylon, and now it's become an official whatever they are, you know. Now, good, bad, ugly, I can't understand people who wake up in the morning and go, I'm going to determine what people are allowed to hear, watch and see. Well, who the hell do you think you are?
Yeah.
But there was plenty of them.
Yeah.
Probably more of them than there is me.
Well, we sort of branch into, I mean, what defines comedy, doesn't it?
That
I mean,
too.
a joke's
exactly.
a joke,
Yes.
but people aren't taking, you know.
It's you know, and it sounds like a cop out because I'm Ricky Gervais, but I'm all about intent. You know, now racism this or that's, you know, gender defining, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
If it's coming from a good place and you sense it, that's okay.
Yeah.
And of course, that's just not on.
Yeah.
But we like to label things now, don't we?
I think also too, I think, you know, Gervais, Chappelle, they are so massive now.
Yes.
They're so massive.
can
They've
afford
gone
better
past
lawyers.
the point where you are not going to cancel me because I'm so big. To the point where they really are like Superman now, where they
Very
can say
much.
whatever they want.
Yes.
And actually now getting a support that's getting garnered by the anti-woke.
Yes. Yes. I can see it change. Of course, it will always change the, you know,
Yeah.
media landscape or people that decide what you can and what you can't watch. But, you know, now it's, you know, whatever they're chasing now. They used to burn witches in Salem too. You know, it's been going for a long time. There's always a bunch of people who will decide they think they can tell what everyone should do and shouldn't do.
Yeah.
That's just what it is.
Yeah.
In different forms. But again, with social media now, the pile-on.
Yeah.
And then it grows and grows and grows, and it is literally like watching an avalanche.
Yeah.
Getting, you know, right at the top of that mountain,
Yep.
like a couple of little sentences were said. The next minute, there's a thing wiping a city out.
Exactly.
It's phenomenal how quickly it goes.
You go from nights to mornings for 3 months before you're being snapped up by Brisbane Station.
Yes.
You've hit the capital city in record
Yep.
time.
That guy was on holiday in Noosa, by the way, pure fluke. Literally on holiday, he had the radio on in the background, went, who's this dude?
Wasn't Rob Ruff, was it?
Not far off, that kind of thing, yeah, not far off. And he rang at the station. I thought it was my mate taking the mickey. Yeah, g'day mate, I work at Brisbane 4OP, this and that, and I'm going to move over to B105, 4BK and all of that. I like what you do, will you come down? Yeah, righto, Brett, you know, and hang up.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so everything rocketed really quickly.
'Cause you've hit
a
the big
year
time
before
there.
that, I was on a prawn trawler.
Yeah.
It just went bang, 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 really fast.
I mean, you're in a capital city. I mean, that's the mecca. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, you look at radio people that want to get into radio. Even to this day, you see these young ones, and remember they drive the Black Thunder around, handing out icy cold Coca-Cola and stuff like that. Anything to get that foothold in the door.
And they always, as you mentioned, asking me advice. I said, I haven't got any except for be in the room.
Yeah.
Just be in the room.
Yeah.
Which I wasn't.
Yeah.
But that, you know, that's their only hope now. It's like, you know, you'll get spotted.
I mean, even Gavin Morris started as a cart boy.
Absolutely. He was in the room.
You know.
And they go, oh, we need someone for this or whatever it was. Gav. You know, what? Yep. You got to, it's a hard trot. Imagine, like, God, Gavin, I kind of started around the same period, you know. I can't imagine what it'd be like for, like, who you just said then, a young kid trying to get going.
Yeah.
Wow, that must be hard.
And again...
And they're good kids. The ones we've got at work are just amazing. I say kids, they're 19, 20, but, you know.
Well, that's another thing too. I mean,
They're
longevity as well, especially for you guys. I mean, because you're so good, but you're seeing other programs throughout the day being swamped by the national.
Yes.
So less and less people
Yep.
needing to work in the building, which is another thing you're fighting against.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely. In not just media too, when you see, you know, what COVID did to something like an NIB, where they all learned to work from home, and then they went, so I'll keep doing that. Offices now and empty buildings,
Yep.
And less staff.
Yep.
So yeah, particularly media, you know, and I don't devil into the politics of any of it anymore. I just do my job and go home. But to be honest with you, and this probably goes across the board, I would love one day to hear a new CEO tell me how he's going to or she's going to spend a bucket of money, employ a bucket of people because she's got this brilliant idea that'll make money, instead of coming in and going, we're going to get rid of all of them and save money.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Yeah.
You don't have to pay me for $1 million and I'll come in and go sack them.
Yeah.
But they go, oh, the greatest CEO. He came in and halved the company. Of course, you got some cash.
I find the anomaly with, I mean, to me, free-to-air television is dead in the water. It's still in the water, but it is dying.
Yeah.
and you can see things getting cut. I mean, when I was at Channel 10, there was cuts every few months, and I kept on saying, "Are we safe?" They said, "Oh, they can't cut any more off the bone."
Oh, yes, they
found
can.
it, you know, but because we were like, you know, we were on air, like
Yeah.
we were probably more valuable. But I was seeing like editors and cameramen and producers
Yeah.
all going, and you can see the quality of the news going down before your very eyes. But you still have to put a 1 hour product out there,
Yep.
just as good it was when. And it's the same with weekends.
Well, you know what the problem is? And I mean this is a problem, but it's actually a compliment. The problem is the people that are still there make that happen.
Yes.
And the credit doesn't go to them. But so the big bosses go, see, it worked.
Well,
No, they made that happen.
when I was at
So it's credit to them.
totally, but same when I was at NBN in Mosborough Crescent, I just briefly touched on weekends. You know,
Yep.
Monday to Friday, you'd have 4 journalists, producers, everyone, full
Oh,
full
yeah.
staff.
Yeah.
Monday to Friday.
Yep.
On the Saturday and Sunday, it was skeleton staff.
Yes.
You know, sometimes two journalists. You know, everyone, and they were saying, "Oh, we need to bring in someone for graphics and stuff like that." And I said, "You've got to make a point because we're still producing a good quality."
Sure.
They're going to start thinking, why can't we do it with this lot Monday to Friday?
Yeah.
And they wouldn't think, no, we've got to keep doing a great job. I said, no, you've got to start sticking up for yourself, or they're going to see that we don't need these people
Yes.
through the week.
Yeah.
And I think that's another thing, the anomaly with people still listen to radio.
Yes.
You know?
In fact, on that, you know, the last ratings, on a cumulative audience, you know, we gained another, I think it was 9,000.
Yeah.
Gained.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you're right. You know, you hear that free to air, dying, radio, and this is nationally too, not just us, but we're still building.
Yeah.
It's, and again, and this is my standard line for, I can only talk about our show, is that Cainey can get news as soon as he wakes up. Phone, right? You can get the news.
Yep.
Music, you can get the music. The advertorials or whatever it is, if you're looking for something, you can shop online. But you can't get Tanya and Steve in your phone, and that's why we're still going.
Yeah.
It's personalities now,
Yeah.
which was hilarious because in the early 80s to late 80s, it was personality radio's dead now. It's all about playing music, you know, like it's all about personality on
Yeah.
radio now.
Yeah.
The music that you play, they can get from anywhere.
Yeah.
Driving, your hand goes, there you go, Spotify.
Yeah.
It's that close.
Yeah.
So to gain audience, go up in ratings with it being that close, that's what they're there
Yeah.
for. They're there to hear what you got to say.
I had a brief stint at TripleM in the newsroom, and I wasn't a big fan of it. I just didn't like. I was getting in at 10 a.m. You'd be driving out,
Yeah.
and you know, back then you all this smoke billowed out. It was like, it was just. It was
Oh,
like
it still does.
You're like a mobster boss.
Still does.
You
Yeah.
know, where it's like,
I see you tomorrow.
yeah. I'd walk up. You know what I hate? Like, I love listening to songs, but it's like they played the same frigging song
Yeah.
every day. I'm
Yeah.
like, you know, like Crowded House and Midnight Oil and all, Choir Boys sung more than Run to Paradise.
It's a standard argument that,
But because it's coming out of somewhere.
yeah,
other than-
and it's researched, and it's the list is endless
Yep.
of reasons why it's played that way, and it's funny, you know. Like I think I fought music for years.
Yeah.
We get that, can't play that anymore. I don't now. If I went in tomorrow and they play, it was wall to wall John Denver, I'd go righto. Don't care.
Well, get back
Don't
to
care.
Brendan Jones from Jonesy and Amanda. He once said, he goes, every radio station he went to, he said, first thing he said, to turn the ratings around, play more In Excess.
Right.
It worked every time.
There you go. Everyone's got to have a theory. Play more in excess.
What I did love about Triple M is that they had a pinball machine.
Yeah,
They had like a little putt-putt. They
Yep.
had a Space Invaders game.
The CEO at the time, his name's Ash, great guy, really good mind. In fact, he was that kind of CEO I was talking about, where he spent money. That what you're talking about, he spent that to bring a good atmosphere.
Yeah.
He wanted it, the entire place to feel, work's a great place
Yeah.
to be. Yeah, that doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Everyone's a franchise manager now.
Yep.
He was, and that's not that long ago, Kate.
Yeah.
10 years, whatever, 10,
Yep.
7. But yes, they're still there. The pinball
Mate,
machines and...
I was on them, and they'd be like, Cainey, the news come up. Wait, what's another fucking ball?
It's funny too, because I remember when you first put them in, and you'd watch people come from Sydney, managers, right, and they'd look over at it and roll their eyes, you know, and that just said it all to me. It was like, oh, does this make the staff happy? What do we want to do that for?
I think when you implemented the axe throwing, I think it got a bit out of hand.
Oh, yeah, well, it was only because... yeah, I thought it was safe. They're bloody HR.
Now we've got a live read. We've got a new sponsor on board.
Who you got?
Confessions Boutique.
Oh, hello. Confessions Boutique. Get on. This will be good. What do we got?
Now before, so they've only just started with us, so we're going to get you to read it.
Hang on. Does your relationship need a spark? A fireworks display or the full energy service response? Oh, emergency! I'm dyslexic, by the way. And then I go, how does he do it on the air? Okay. Whatever it is, Confessions Boutique can help. So if you need to put a bit of ooh yeah back into your relationship, this is the place to go. From premium adult toys, lubes, gifts. You trying to get my contract cut? From premium adult toys, lubes, gifts and gadgets, Confessions Boutique will have your What? We'll have you cancelling?
Cancelling your plans.
Oh, there you go. Confessions Boutique will have you cancelling your morning plans. Confessions Boutique, shop 1, is this a real place?
Yes.
Confessions Boutique, shop 1, 222 Pacific Highway, Charlestown. Tanya told me about this place. Didn't the soccer girls or something, wasn't there a soccer team that got in trouble?
Only last week.
There you go.
There you go.
It's all ringing a bell. There you set me up to read them. Good on you. So stop scrolling boring Netflix and start creating your own adult entertainment. As I was reading, going, I know what this is. Are they a real sponsor?
Yes, they are.
Oh, that is so good because they're getting on all this local stuff.
Totally.
I think that's really clever of them.
Yeah. It's you know what? And I was talking to them the other day, and I'm like, it's sort of like they're trying to explode the myth that it's people are going in there with a hoodie on.
Yes.
And it's like sleazy. You know,
Yeah,
it's actually really classy when you get in there. It's there's nothing to be shy about. And
I think they're being really smart about it too. You know, just like you say.
Well,
it's like I said when I do my mental health stuff. I go normalise it. Just normalise it, and that's what they're doing.
Exactly.
It's just another local business helping other businesses. So can't go wrong.
Perfect. Thank you, Steve. That was brilliant.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm sure that Austereo will get onto them tomorrow.
I love the fact that it's like, let's give the dyslexic guy a script. It should have been concealing both peak.
You went all right. Don't you worry.
No. It's funny because people say, but how do you do the live rigs? And I've trained my brain.
Yep.
It's almost, and Tanya is trained to work with me. So a live read, a lot of the times, it's not on the page.
Well, look,
what I love is Tanya keeps going for me.
I won't get you to read the brothel later anyway.
That one downstairs.
Do you know this actually used to be a brothel?
Really?
Well, that's what I'm told. The old comedy club was.
Right.
It was once a gambling den.
Yep.
And apparently it was a brothel.
Okay.
These walls could talk.
Yeah, well, yeah. I'm trying to think. Is it number 2? Is that down? Someone was telling me that that's still going, and I know we used to walk past
Number
it
2,
with kebabs.
that wasn't one of the acts.
Yeah, probably. We used to walk past with kebabs going to the then castle and always look at this. Anyway, but yes, they're still floating around. We'll move on.
Escape the city and discover the magic of the Hunter Valley with HV Tours. From world-class wineries and craft breweries to gourmet food, cheese, chocolate, gin and breathtaking views. This is more than a tour, it's an experience. Small groups, relaxed vibes, local guides and unforgettable memories, all without the stress of driving. Whether it's a romantic getaway, birthday celebration, Hens Weekend or just a day out with friends, Hunter Valley Tours delivers the ultimate wine country experience. Book your next escape now at HV Tours and let the good times roll.
In the world of construction, precision isn't optional, it's essential. For over 35 years, Newcastle Sheet Metal has delivered high-quality ductwork, fabrication and installation on time, every time. From large-scale commercial projects to precision custom work, we don't just meet deadlines, we set the standard. Newcastle Sheet Metal, built on experience, driven by quality.
From Brisbane, how do you get down to Newcastle?
Went to while in Brisbane radio. I was just about to go to B105, doing nights.
Yep.
Drive nights at that time, and I went to. They were having lots and lots of, what do you call them when all the radio people get together? Convention-y type thing. Mm-hmm. I was at a convention thing. One mate introduced me to another mate, and one of the people there was just about Mike Webb, just about to launch New FM, the first FM station in Newcastle.
Yep.
I got talking with him, made him laugh a lot. He went, "Where are you working? What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm doing this." He said, "Give me your phone number."
It's not the same guy. It's not the same guy who hired Tezza McKenna.
Yes,
because it's a very similar story to
yes,
Tezza.
Mike Webb. Yes, for sure. There's Mike Webb. Pretty much the whole brainstorm of New FM.
Yep.
And brought but it was a year later, because in that opening time, John Paul Young was doing breakfast. Garth wasn't there yet. But, John Paul Young was doing breakfast, and Mobbs and Fletch were doing a night show, and they were through the roof rating 35. So TripleM nationally snapped them, and that's when they said, "Oh well, we'll get Steve down." And I'm going, I'm coming down to replace a 35 rating show, which was massive, right? Anyway, I did two surveys and I got a 38. Okay then. And from that, into breakfast with Garth. Yeah, so I grew up with John Paul Young posters on my sister's wall.
With Garth.
There you go.
Look at that.
There you go.
Man.
Yes.
Look at you.
I know, hair and all.
Mate, you look like one of the members of Bros.
Yeah.
When
well,
will I?
A member of Bros. He's the brother that had too many pies. But yeah, that was again. It's just how quick everything happened. I was at TripleM Melbourne and Adelaide. I should have still been just starting in Brisbane.
Yeah.
If you went in most people's radio timelines.
Yeah.
It was bang, bada bang, bada bang, and it was always meeting someone out. I've never had a job interview in my life.
Yep.
In my life.
Yep.
Luck. I hate using the word luck. My dad used to say, he won the lotto. He's lucky, and Dad would go, no. If he didn't buy a ticket and won the lotto, he'd be lucky.
Yeah.
He said, you're always in for a chance.
Yeah.
And I thought, that's a good way of looking at stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, we ended up down there because there was no TripleM in Adelaide. We launched it. Big, the money was good. Our favourite story is we went to Sydney for the interview, and we must have looked like a couple of country bumpkins from Newcastle, because driving down, we're going, I'm telling you now, they've got the money because you know what they paid Mulray.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. I said, I reckon we should ask for 60 grand a year. And Gus like, forget it. Mate, you're joking. Mulray then was on 300, 400, whatever it was. Anyway, we get down there. And the guy who interviewed us was a part of the team that hired Mulray. The whole bit. We were in big time.
Yeah.
And Garth and I sitting on the couch, so here we are, big radio land. And chat. Guys, love what you do. We want you to go launch TripleM Adelaide, probably move you over to Melbourne after that.
That's right, you went to Adelaide, yeah.
Yes. And then he just went, how much you want? Now, remember, Garth and I, on the way down, thought we were the bravest people in the world to say 60 grand.
Yep.
And Garth just went, 150,000. And he went, okay.
Wow.
Like that.
Yep.
And now this is 1993.
Yeah.
So triple it?
Yeah.
Ridiculous money. And then we're skipping, like we played it cool, right up
Yeah,
in, you know, down the elevator.
Meanwhile, your brain's going, "Ah!"
yeah. And once we get out of the elevator, we skip to the car. We're driving halfway back up. Oh, this and that. And, oh, mate, well done. You, Garth, you know, because Garth did it, you know. I said, good on you, mate, having the balls to do that, like, you know, 150 grand. And then we both suddenly went silent at the exact same time. And I slowly looked at him and went, that is each, isn't it? And he went, well, shit, I don't know. This is a true story. So the bumpkins that thought they'd hit an oil mine were going, oh, shit. So that would be, what, 75 each then, if it's 150, but for both of us. Oh, shit, yeah, maybe. No, true story.
Well, you're still up on your figure. You know?
Oh, absolutely. It was still a win. Anyway, non-mobile phone, this is 93, pulled into a petrol station and said, we got to ring them. I said, no, you can't ring it, mate. They'll think we're absolute losers. Anyway, I watched Garth go into the booth. He's on the phone, you know.
Back when you could find one.
Absolutely. Came out of it looking at me like that. And whenever we get together for a beer, we can't help but remember that story.
Man. Wasn't there a thing at the time where a lot of jocks were going to Adelaide?
Yes.
It was sort of like the testing ground, wasn't
Pretty much it was a good, it was almost like you'd do Newcastle. Well, you know, like you were saying earlier,
Yeah.
you know, maybe a Tamworth,
It's a sort of-
Atari.
A little bit like the Central, you know, when you see these
Yes.
reality TV show,
Yep.
people get snapped up. They
Very
put them
much.
on the Central Coast. They last
Yes.
5 minutes, and you know, but that's their little testing ground.
It is. Adelaide was definitely that. Not so much now. I think it's built enough. Brisbane was probably that too. But yeah, you do, say, Coffs Harbour, then you hit that regional Newcastle
Yeah.
market, and then Adelaide would be your next cap cities, you know, and then maybe a Brisbane. I mean, let you think about though Sydney and Melbourne. Just Sydney radio alone. In the past 40 years, you can count radio announcers on your hands.
Yeah,
Think about like, you know, Mulray,
Yeah.
Harmer.
Yep.
But you know, like, it's not a lot.
Denton.
It's not.
Yep.
It's not a lot.
Yeah.
In that huge period of time.
Yeah.
Because you have to build the audience, get the audience, keep the audience, and that's time. No one's allowed to have that anymore.
Yeah.
You got 2 years, not rating, gone. Next.
Yeah.
No one gives it. You got to have time.
Has Tanya and yourself ever been offered to go to Sydney? I mean, because
Yeah.
the bosses will be looking, going, this rates its ass off, and I'm
Yes.
probably answering this for you, going,
No.
yeah, it works here, but it probably wouldn't down there.
Interesting question. Yes, we have separately and together offers, but there does come a thing where they call it married to the market, meaning, you know, but that market, they own it and all of that, you know, don't want to take them out of it. I would bet my house on that we'd work.
Yeah.
Because when we get so many people coming up to us saying, I've moved from Sydney.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great. We love it. Because if you drive around Sydney and listen to the radio, you have to look at the dial to see who you're listening to because it's the same stuff.
Yes.
It's the same stuff
Yep.
with a different voice saying it.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, we can be guilty of that too, competitions and all of that. But ours, I believe ours is it's more chaotic. You don't know what's coming next, or we could start talking state of origin, and the end of the conversation could be having an operation with a camera up my ass. And that's so normal
Yeah.
that the audience now to go, oh, yeah. Whatever. So yeah.
How did that segment go, by the way?
Yeah, it was all right actually. Yeah. I think the lighting could have been better, to be honest.
I think the camera clouded up.
But yeah, look, I don't want to. I could add another answer to that is, I don't millions, and I mean this. There's not enough millions of dollars to get me to go and work in Sydney, because it's just same idiots, bigger money.
What if they
It's
could
like-
somehow move the Carrington Bowling Club down there?
Nah. You know, and this is because I've worked so hard to get this audience, and or I'll call them a group of friends if you like. I'm way too old to go starting a new bunch.
Yeah.
Just no thanks.
Totally.
No thanks. God.
Mate, from good times to bad ones, your dad committed suicide on Melbourne Cup Day. That would have been a real shit day for you.
It was. Look, you know, again, hindsight, should have seen it coming, but we all say that. He was really sick, riddled with cancer. He was yeah, in a bad way. And I look back too as well. 2 months, I'd seen him 2 months before. And he sat down and told me how proud he was of me. And he was a big burly fisherman that didn't say too many things like that. He said, you know, I might not be here for long. And I said, oh, you reckon the cancer's going to get you, Dad? Like, you know, and he's like, oh, not necessarily, boy, you know. Didn't even pick up on that. Yeah. He's giving me all the signals. Actually, no, he wasn't meaning to, but I didn't pick up on any. And then, you know, I came home from the Melbourne Cup function, worked Melbourne Cup function, long lunch, all of that. 6:30, 7 at night, opened the front door, and my then wife Karen's just standing there. And I looked and went, Dad, and she went, yep. To this day, we don't know why that happened. Dad, yep, and he electrocuted himself under the house. I always tell this story though because it's so him. He was, if it was now, and he went, he'd be autism. He's definitely that kind of, you know, very creative, very smart, but not socially brilliant. He went downstairs and he took all the fuses out of the wiring that would normally, if you were to put a short in, would just stop it. Right?
Yeah.
So he did all of that, wired his hands, wired around, and I went to clean the area. Police came immediately. You know, when it's a suicide, cops come.
Yeah,
like,
oh yeah.
It's you got to.
Yeah.
So my mum and my sister, you know, this is in Redcliffe and Brisbane. I'm down here feeling helpless. But when I got up there, they'd taken the body and things like that. But still, my sister said, "Can you go down and just clean that area?"
Yeah.
I went, "Of course." You know,
Yeah.
I went down, and that was weird. Mm-hmm. That was like he was still there.
Yeah.
Really, it's like 24 hours later. It was just a fold-out chair. The wire was still down there. But here's the thing, he's a smoker. And I looked, and there was 5 cigarette butts. I went, okay. I don't know why I did this. I should have just grabbed the chair and got the broom. But I went, righto. And I timed it. I'm thinking, on average, if you're a slow smoker, 10 minutes. Yeah. So I'm thinking, he sat here for an hour. 5 cigarettes out, and that's it.
Yeah.
I don't know why I concluded that,
Yeah.
but that's how I saw it.
Yeah.
Cigarette butts, chair. I said, so that's not like, whoops, I shouldn't have done it. That's a lot of thought process going into what he did.
Yeah.
And he is not the kind of guy that wanted to be a burden on anyone. That's what it was.
Is that why you said you were proud and devastated?
Yes.
All at once?
Yes, because he'd obviously, using that cigarette butt scenario, he'd really he'd given it thought to make the plan, but he'd also, it wasn't just an immediate, reaction. God, so many times you can hear with suicide, and I do a lot of, mental health talks with people, and that is 2 seconds away from them still being here and enjoying a grandchild. 2 seconds, from a trigger pull, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
And I don't think you would have stopped him no matter what.
Did that make you look at yourself?
It made me realise. I think I may have, before that, maybe looked at suicide as a bit of a gutless way out, bit selfish, bit. What about the people you leave behind?
Yeah.
Your kids, your families. Well, hang on, I think I'm very much focused that way. But now I could see, in his case, A, he thought he was a burden on us anyway. B, he wasn't of sound mind, and depression had set in, all sorts of things. So I could see all the reasons why he did it. Wasn't just because, oh, woe is me.
Yeah.
It was for everything. He thought he was in a better place, not here anymore, which is, of course, the common thing everyone tells you. It did change my perspective on suicide and make me want to stop it more.
Yeah. And just for yourself, I mean, have you thought about that?
The darkest time would have been, yes, I have, and I would say over probably my children growing up, because my first 2 children grew up in Holland. I was with them only 2 months ago, so we're still close and together and things like that. But in the early stages, I saw no future.
Yeah.
It was, and in those early stages too, I was Captain People Please. And there's Happy Steve, and I'd be home alone doing a bottle of wine and just ringing my kids who couldn't speak English, and they were speaking Dutch, and I'd just do Daffy Duck, and I just thought, what's the point? So I got there.
I'm going to mention this, and I was going to mention it when you were on air, I used to listen to you, and I think you would have been with Garth, was it then?
Yeah, yes.
And you did mention your problems with
Yeah.
your ex-wife and not seeing the kids on air, which is
Yes.
something, people, you bring a lot to the table, you're talking about your life experiences and what happens at home and that sort of stuff. But
Yeah.
you could tell even at the time that it was raw. And I mean, you look back now, would you have done it differently? Because again, I mean, you're talking from the heart because
Yeah.
something was happening, and you're going to work, and it's almost like spilling out into this.
Yeah, look, I think personally, no. I'm so glad I did that. It's probably something I kind of realised at the time by doing it. And you know what? It wasn't a lot of thought. I was just doing it. It wasn't like, you know what I'm going to do. It just kind of happened. And what happened since then, and it's great when people are with me so they see it, the number of either wives or people that come up and go, thanks, man. I thought I was the only person on the planet going through that. So I hear this bloke on the radio's going through it. It's like, okay, we're all in this. I went, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want it to be a big woe is me thing.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, all right, mate, we're all doing it tough.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. It was like, oh, you too? Really?
Yeah.
You know, okay.
I actually remember you actually saying on air that at the moment you're a sad clown.
Yes. Yeah, very much. The performing monkey, almost, I started to feel like. Because people would come up and go, how happy is Steve? It's like, oh, you mean because you heard Happy Steve on the radio? I got a mortgage.
Yeah.
It's like they would presume I'm doing well because I'm on the radio.
Yeah.
If you want to find out how you, I mean, of course you can ring me or text me, but it's like, I wonder how Steve's going. And you hear the show, well, Steve's great.
Yeah.
But he's not.
Yeah.
That's the show. So, there were long periods of time where, I wasn't so great. But you got to perform. And I say, look, it's different, I know, but if you're a truck driver, you've got to drive truck.
Yeah.
If you're whatever, you've got to pay the bills.
Yeah.
We haven't got that luxury.
You were diagnosed with ADHD, seven years ago?
Yes.
This would have been some ups and down days as well. I mean, just with the ADHD, does it, having that, does that bring something to you as a presenter? Like you're really you're thinking on the go. And that's why you've got that quick wit. It's in a way, it's helped you.
Absolutely. It made so much sense when I was diagnosed. Because then, of course, as we do, we go home and Google it.
Yeah.
And I know people getting sick and tired of labels on things, as am I too. And I know all that. But when I sat down for the first... Finally, and I got talked into it, because I was never going to go to a psychiatrist, and finally got talked into it. And I love it, because at the end of, 20-minute chat, I looked at her and said, so, like, can you see whatever? And she just burst out laughing.
Yeah.
And went, are you kidding? If you could give me a passport photo, I'd put it next to ADHD in the book. And I'm like, really? She goes, have you noticed that you haven't stopped moving since you've been here? You haven't stopped talking since you've been here? And anyway, she went into this routine. But it was like an anvil came off my shoulders.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I went, so this, and she'd go, yep. But I'll be in a room and there'll be 20 people taking an hour to come up with an idea for something, and I'd thought of it an hour before, but I didn't want to say anything because it made me sound like I think it's a superpower.
Yeah.
I absolutely do. When people go, I think he's got a bit of that or she's got a bit of that, it's not this devil horrible thing at all.
Because it's almost like every second kid's diagnosed with it these days.
That's the thing, that's where it can get a little bit out of control though, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think the kids diagnosing themselves is getting a bit out of control too, like as we did, whatever,
Yeah.
I wouldn't, to be honest, I would even take the H out of mine. I'm not really hyping into that. I've never really been that talkative, but some more ADD. But what happened with that then is I can't stop the brain.
Yeah.
So there's the downside. Don't sleep well. Never have. Sleep debt, as we read, one of the biggest killers in the world. Just not talked about that much. Stress comes with sleep deprivation. So
Drinking?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So all the power things that I love about it, what comes with that is that brain that doesn't stop. So, you self-medicate, tired, depression. So there's the two sides. Then I got the medication, which not helped me sleep as much, but I call it the white noise. Took away the white noise.
Yeah.
My brain used to just constantly, But I thought, everyone's must.
Yeah.
I never even thought for a second that mine is the only one doing that.
Yeah.
I thought everyone was like that. So then when I finally took the medication, I texted you and went, is this what you bastards feel like? And she went, what? I went, I just had that medication. Is this what you bastards feel like? And she just laughed. And I said, it's quiet.
Yeah.
I was in my backyard.
Yeah.
It's funny, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
something, but I always say it worked for me. I'm not, pushing meds. I'm not pushing whatever theory or whatever thing will work for you works for you. But I firmly believe I've got better on the radio since medication.
Yeah.
Because I'm clear, and I can, like you were saying at the start, I hold back, and I'll hear something, and I'll let everyone else talk, and then
Chime in.
Yeah, as my boss says, throw a hand grenade.
Yeah.
That's what he calls it. You just sit back and throw a hand grenade, mate. All right then. So yes, and the good thing is that particularly with Tanya, and everyone's different, every partner's different. She gives me lots of hand grenades to throw because of the way she, the way she thinks, the way she talks.
Yeah.
It makes it fun. And I just, she can see my grin. She'll say something and keep talking, but I'm grinning. She's like, here it
She
comes.
knows it's, yeah,
She knows it's good. Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
You're a granddad now.
Yes. What's
man.
going on there, Cainey?
Did you ever think that would happen?
Not in a million years, no. No, look at her. Look, honestly, yeah, someone said the other day, oh, wow, there's a different photo. They said, oh, gee, Steve, you can see you in her. And I said, don't remind my daughter, it's killing her.
Wow.
I said, little Millie with a beard, and it's me. But it's an amazing thing, Cainey, because you talk to people. I think it's that joke going around now, isn't it? Oh, the one thing I can't stand is hanging around with old people, like the people I went to school with. It's because I was never supposed to be that. And here I am. And I've met so many people go, oh, mate, I'm on my third. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. And then she got put in my arms. And you're like, it is.
Yeah.
It's different. You've got the unconditional love for your kids. You've got, kids that you want to, quite frankly, throat punch. You've got, you know what I mean? That little girl at that point was, you'd jump in front of a train for her. That kind of thing.
You'll be already booking another trip over.
Exactly, yes. Yeah, I just wish Trumpy had stopped dropping bombs and because it's affecting a lot of people with travel, isn't it? The whole Iranian
absolutely.
thing
Here's a question: your real mum?
Yes.
So she's a great grandmother now.
Yes.
What was her reaction?
Again, really happy. Again, said, she's got the my original Saunders. Got the Saunders nose. Mums love doing that, don't they? But exactly. But she's also, because what came with my birth mum was 2 brothers and a sister.
Yep.
Again, different father. So between all of us now, I think she's a great grandmother 4 times.
Wow.
So it's a bigger family.
Also, another loving relationship you had was with Baxter, the boxer.
I still miss
There
him.
you
I still miss him.
Mate.
Look at him. That was COVID.
It was almost like it had an alter ego, just like you.
Yes. I just separated, literally just separated. So we moved into the house I still live in now together. It was just me and the dog. And that, funny enough, though, was during COVID when they were saying, you're not allowed to have more than 5 people in your house, right? And we went, I reckon there's 6 over there, Baxter. He's like, I think you're right. And whenever I had him talking, it was always, Ruby-doo. But yeah, he was a brilliant dog. He got me, without question, through that divorce.
Yeah.
Without question. And then he's only 6 years old. He was having some problems weeing and stuff, so I took him to the vet.
Yep.
They said, oh, look, we'll do some x-rays and scans, probably some stones in the kidneys. No probs. Rang me and said, oh, can you come back in, please? I came back in, and they put the x-ray up, and I went, and they said, there's a kidney, and I went, oh, that looks okay. They went, no, up. And the x-ray, by almost luck, had picked up. He had a broken back.
Oh.
I went, how long's he had that? And they went, we have no idea. So his back was like broken in an area where it was hanging on by nerves kind of thing. And I said, but why wouldn't he, and this is a good answer though, I said, why wouldn't I, it's pain. And the vet went, he's a boxer.
Yeah.
No pain, it's all fun.
Mate.
It's all fun. Anyway, I said, is this the part where you tell me if I go to Sydney and spend $150,000, I might be able to... They went, no, there's not even a...
Yeah.
So, vet that morning, my best mate, by 4 o'clock in the afternoon, he was getting the green dream. Asked, my favourite part, the nurses that were... Hamilton Vet, they were so good.
Yeah.
So good. The nurses, doctors and receptionists there, Bronny, all asked if they could come into the room. That's how popular he was. They all knew Baxter, and they asked for that moment. I cried before we got there.
Well, wow.
Because they asked if they could be with him. I
Yeah.
said, does this happen? They went, no, never. And that was so lovely.
What was the last thing you said to Baxter?
Oh, that's a good question. Jesus, Cainey. That's a really good question. And I know, because it's so bland and so ridiculous, I said, how good's that? The reason being is you're supposed to give him some food to take their minds off it. And he used to have this thing where he'd put his, the flopper box they had, and he'd put it on your hand. And then the nurse said, what he's going to feel now is, as I'm pushing it in, it'll be like a warm sensation through him. So as he put his hand, she said that, and I looked and I went to him, how good's that? And that was to mean that warm feeling he was feeling.
Yeah.
Next minute, this stopped. It stopped. It just stopped.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's...
Man.
But I've never been... And I only just thought of that then, as you asked me. I've never been asked that. It's a good question. Geez, if you had that opportunity with human beings and animals and... last thing you said to them.
Yeah. Yeah, they really are. They've got a personality. Boxers. I remember a mate of mine had one, and he had two, actually. And he put all these... He had his beautiful garden, put all these palm trees in. By the end of the day, it was like... It looked like a tropical cyclone had gone through the backyard.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I think he flogged them with the trees. It's like,
Yeah, well, the funny thing is, too, to go back to what we were saying, is when I first got him, people go, oh, you've been diagnosed with ADHD, how's it going? I'm like, good. Oh, yeah, I got a dog too. Oh, what'd you get? Boxer. You've got ADHD and you've got a boxer, the only dog with ADHD. And it's like, maybe we got on well. He had brilliant side eye. Whatever, he wouldn't look at you if you talked to him. He'd sit on the couch and you go, hey, mate, and he'd be like, what is it? Yeah, great dog, fantastic dog.
your 19-year-old son's living with you now,
Yes.
you mentioned before. You like the odd couple?
It's funny, I don't know if this is common. He was me. And I say 100% me. I reckon in the last maybe 18 months, there's a lot more of his mum coming out. Mm-hmm. I don't know whether that comes with age, I'm not sure. So not opposite, but yes, certainly. Well, what is it? Boomer and Gen Z, he's a good kid. Like, we can't, once they get past certain ages, and he's he's 19, you can't control everything. But if you can insert, please, thank you, just respect, if you could just get that,
Absolutely.
you've won. And that's the one thing, I'm his dad. Even if I just lean into his room and go, oh, I just made you a sandwich. Oh, thanks, Dad. Wow. It shouldn't be your mate, but it's like, I love it.
Just
love it.
with the cost of living these days, are you worried for his future? And just the way things are, I know the government did some stuff in the budget. Personally, I don't think it's going to make an iota of difference in regards to the young people getting in the market.
No.
So it's almost like when I see, I know this sounds awful, when I see people with a young kid, like a young baby, I go, what's the life like if it's hard now, what's it going to be like in 25 years' time?
I agree. See, and I used to always have the theory it's changed now because of the cost of rent.
Yeah.
But I used to go, just rent. I used to hate the Australian house buy dream.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
You're putting pressure on our kid,
Yeah.
right? But now, rents are so high,
Yep.
there's no alternative.
Well, I'm saying, as you know, I've gone back into laying carpet. So I'm going into people's houses, and a lot of these people, they've got kids in their mid-20s still living there.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, these people say, 15 years ago would have went to a financial planner. When are we going to retire? How much money do we need?
Yes.
This has totally changed the ballpark in regards to, hang on, some of this money that was going to be for retirement is spending on these kids because they can't physically get out.
Absolutely.
Because they can't get in the market anywhere.
Yes. That's so true. You think too, and every situation is different, but there'd be parents now paying for things for their kids that no way in hell our parents would have done, and not out of not loving us, whatever it was. Just that wasn't what you do. You get a job and you look after yourself. That's what happens. Health insurance, I'll guarantee you there'd be a lot of parents paying for their kids, including me. I pay for his. That's gone through the roof. But not only that, if they are saving or whatever, to me...
And it would be because you're at an older age now to even start thinking about that.
Absolutely.
You know?
Oh, for sure. And on the answer of do I worry about him? No, because he's shown me. When I go, you worrying, mate, that down the track you buying a house? And he looks at me and goes, think you'll find I've already got one, Dad. I'm like, that's a boy. You know what, though? I think we have changed that. And I know, you'd know class systems in England that all sat around inheriting. That's what they did. Not so much the working class, but in general, middle class and everything. Yeah, one day I'll get this. And Aussies, we never really thought like that. They do now.
And
because
it's
you're
like
now inheriting, when you inherited a $200,000 fibro house, you're now getting a $1.5 million brick house in Mayfield.
I also truly believe this is another reason why, people are like, we can't get waitresses, we can't get waiters, we can't do this. It's like, we don't have to really work that hard because we're home and we know that there's a pot of rainbow at the end of...
100%, mate.
Pot of gold at the end of the...
Totally. It's a different mind shift. And the other side of that I see, though, sometimes is... that generation watched us come home when the boss made us work till midnight, watched us come home crying ourselves to sleep and despising our jobs, but still doing it, and said to themselves, I'm not going to do that. But what they didn't have was a plan to get money. So I back them on so many things. I absolutely support them on, I'm not going to be doing 15-hour a day. I want some lifestyle and everything. Okay, but you still got to pay the bills, and you haven't figured that one out except for mum and dad, have you? And it's like, and mum and dad do it. Guilty, but mum and dad do it. That's the problem. Where do we go from there, though, as parents?
Well, where we go from here is some random picks.
Ooh,
what's first on the
random
list?
picks, righto. Oh, there you go. Steve, Kim, Damon, that was in the Charlestown studios, which is now Muso Corner.
Have you been in there lately?
It's amazing.
Holy shit.
It's amazing, yes.
You know what? I thought down the bottom there would be, they'd use the studios as like sound booths or something.
Yeah.
And so it's not.
No.
So I've cleared it all out. But I'm like,
it
amazed.
might be to come, do you reckon?
Huh?
To use those studios? I think they should put them in.
Well, absolutely. But it's just such an array of stuff in there.
Look at that desk.
But here's a question. Kim Bauer.
Yeah.
Like what happened to her?
Met a wonderful guy and moved to Perth.
Right.
And happy as to this day. Saw her son, anyway, not that long ago. And he said, good as gold. She's more near Fremantle or something.
She's a question on most pub trivia nights. What happened to Kim Bauer?
There you go. Yeah, well, it's funny you say that because she was never wanted to be on air.
Yeah.
And Garth and I were together there, and he wanted to move on. And I remember just saying, I'll just get Kim. See you, man. Because whatever.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. And she said, yeah, all right, I'll have a crack, because she loved it.
Wow.
I mean, she had a great history too. She was the, I guess you'd call, librarian record person in TripleM Sydney when Mulroney was on air.
Wow.
She was big up, So that Mike Webb that started New FM and hired me, hired her from Sydney.
Wow.
She was a hired gun.
Man.
And then anyway, had a pretty rough single mum kind of life. And I thought, well, get in with me. I'll not teach her the ropes, but I knew I could make it work.
Yeah.
And Damo as well, he was great too,
Yeah,
that third person we talk, as we have with Rising now.
Yeah.
It was a great little combination.
Yeah.
And a great example, I mean, look at me there, I've had a few pies, but a great example of, the ageism that goes on in the world these days, or the demographic this and the demographic that. I'm playing Justin Bieber, look at me. And I got on there and go, what was that rubbish? And we were killing the ratings.
Yeah.
Because you were honest.
Yeah.
If you're just honest, it's okay.
Yeah.
If I was trying to pretend, how good's that Bieber, you're a dickhead. If you're pretending to sound any younger than you really are.
Totally.
They see through you straight away.
Yeah.
And so half of that show, I still laugh going, what the hell? I was 45 maybe, playing 17-year-old music, but bagging the crap out of it, like absolutely rubbishing the music, which became part of the act. So there you go. Wow, I haven't seen that pic for a long time.
Next up, Brody.
Oh, there's a day.
Okay, this one first.
Oh,
This
mate.
one first. What's that?
We were in Vegas, meaning we, Kim, Ricey and I took the show to Vegas. Walking down the street, this guy's charging $10 a pick, and I went, that's him. And
That still should be your profile pic.
isn't it great? It's one of my, funny you say that, because usually, the Grovers and the Supermans and the Batmans that you can get a pic with, you need to take a can of bloody... give him a bit of underarm, because then it's a bit on the pongy side. This guy was really good.
And straight after that, you married him to someone.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, by the way, did you know I'm a reverend? Yeah, he was. He was really good, and I remember it was $10. I think there was 2 photos, and you're dead right. It's one of my faves, because I'm not one to do those kind of photos.
Yeah.
And everyone said, "Oh, you got to." And I went, "Yeah, right, I did." So yes.
Next. This next one, I'd actually have this one for my profile photo if I had that. You're running off Gidley.
Well, no, Gidley's running off me.
You've given it.
The pick before, right? I've offloaded, and he scored. Can you imagine? The fact that Husey asked me, and I said, "Mate, I smoke a packet of smokes a day. You kidding? Like, I need a bugger on the field." Anyway, I don't know how long it was, about a month. But I, pulled back and got to the gym and all that kind of gear. Because I used to play footy younger, so I knew how to do it. And Husey knew that about me. We'd played a game years and years ago. Mark Hughes, of course, I'm talking about. Yep. But he said, "Yeah, I want you to captain the side." And I went, "What side is it?" And he went, "Kirk Gidley, Matthew Gidley." He rattled off these names and going, "Are you kidding me?" And he went, "No, really." Wow.
Wow.
What a day.
Who did you play footy for?
Dolphins.
Wow.
Well, school, Redcliffe High, Scarborough State, and then I played the last one with, again, just under 15s.
So that'd be, Wynnum?
No, Redcliffe.
Redcliffe.
It's almost bookends. Wynnum, Redcliffe,
Yeah,
and Brisbane.
yeah.
Almost bookends there. It's a
right.
peninsula on the Moreton
I
Bay,
get ya.
hence the trawlers from there. But yeah, Redcliffe Dolphins were my team, and again, under 15s. It was more school footy, and then a bit of pub footy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love football. I love rugby league. But imagine being there, throwing a pass to Matthew Gidley.
You look like an enforcer there. You look like...
Well, yeah, I agree. That's what I mean. I like the photos because I look better than I really played. Because there was a couple of balls that, I think that they were even amazed. I think they thought I was going to be the... he'll be out there cracking us up. I took it very seriously. And Kirk Gidley took it more seriously. That's why these guys are so good, Yeah. Now, that's a charity thing. We're having a bit of fun. Gidley rode me like a dog. On the ball, Steve! All right, mate, I'm here for charity. But the competitive,
Beautiful.
What a great player that man was.
Well, mate, we've now got another a sponsor to read.
Hang on.
You don't have to do it this time. I'll do this one.
Okay,
Because
off you go.
at the end of it, you've got a special thing coming.
Righto.
Now, we have a great sponsor that's also just come on board, Purnell Trophies. We've, you've won trophies in your time, Steve. Acras.
Oh, yeah.
Probably not made by Purnells. They're not falling apart or anything, are they?
No, and I've got quite a few from Purnell's, actually.
Look
I
at
use
this.
it as, there
Look
we
at
go,
this.
thank you.
Read that.
What have we got? Steve Graham. I'll tell you what, you're getting the dyslexic guy to read a lot of stuff, aren't you? You two got together and went, you know what we're going to do? Breakfast radio. Last surviving lunatic. I cherish that.
I want that pride of place
I love that.
next on the panel.
Last one I got at Purnell's, was a glass one, and I gave it to a mate who was leaving radio, and it was, I think I called it the Steve G, the G Award, and it was brilliant.
Well,
they did such a great job with it.
Yeah, here on Incredible Eyes with Cainey, we are all about recognising success. We celebrate the people who make our community what it is, and also what Purnell Trophies do. They custom make trophies, medals, honour boards, branded apparel and creative designs, reliable service and fast turnaround. They've helped sporting clubs, schools, businesses, charities and community events. celebrate their champions since 1957. You drink at the Carrington Bowling Club, Steve.
Yeah.
Would there be any people down there worthy of a special trophy, like maybe the nudie run across the green? If they
Oh, without doubt, the CEO manager, Jackie. Jackie deserves a trophy for things I can't say and things I can say.
Well,
She's just an amazing person, so we'll throw one at her.
I think we need to get you down to Purnell's Trophies. They're at 24 Broadmeadow Road, Broadmeadow, or call them on 49612 And on behalf of Purnell's and the podcast,
Thank you, guys.
there you go.
I do like being lunatic. I haven't got that one.
And you know what the good thing about cups, I love about cups with trophies, is that you can drink out of them.
Oh, yes. Well, that's a shot glass. Or if we put it close up to the camera, it's massive.
Or if you like poached eggs.
True.
Steve Graham, thanks for your time. And
Mate, it's been a pleasure.
I'd love you to come back.
We'll get you for what was the last thing I said to Baxter thing? As soon as we cut this, I'm going to come over and throat punch you. What a good question.
Thank you.
It was I love that. And again, here I am waffling on again, but when there's one, each show I'll have to go home with something.
Yeah.
Each show I've like,
Yeah.
oh yeah. And you should go home with that. That's a bloody good question. Who would ask the last thing you said to a pet? Well played, Cainey.
Thanks,
Well
Steve.
played. Pleasure.